The Central Bank of Kenya today raised the country's policy rate from 8.75% to 9.50%, as rising inflation and foreign currency crunch placed the administration in Nairobi under pressure. Let's listen to the rate decisions from the outgoing Central Bank Governor, Patrick Njoroge.
Market perception survey shows the same thing, a similar sort of outcome. And again, looking at the people that were very pessimistic, which is the yellow, but actually it is pessimistic, which is the silver one, that has gone from 8% to 23%, like 3 times. And I think and also in terms of the non-banks, also they are showing more pessimism. And again, the same issues sort of came up. And so from our perspective, this was quite surprising, and we therefore spent a lot of time understanding it and understanding what is the reaction from a point of view of MPC. So let's summarize a little. So the reduction or the fall of the optimism, and this is despite improvements in the external conditions and global prices. Secondly, there's this issue of timing. I talked about that the service happened before the rains arrived, and indeed also you could say happened before the protests that we have seen in our main capitals, in our main capital and in our capital, Nairobi, and also in some of the main cities around the country. And also a third element here is it was before we began to see a sort of a turnaround in the FX market that I'll talk about a little later. So what is all this? The lower optimism, one would expect that this would lead to delays in investment decisions. So investors, people who are building houses, etc., those decisions will generally be delayed when the investors are concerned in some ways. It also lead to poor operation of markets, so markets become more inefficient in times of stress. And indeed also consumer confidence would probably also follow, meaning decline, which would lead to delays and delays in consumer durables, purchases of consumer durables, etc. It is against this backdrop that the MPC decided to firmly anchor the inflation expectations. So naturally, and the decision came through as an increase of the benchmark rate, the CBR, by 75 basis points, which was announced in the press release that we issued. Naturally, we stand ready to revisit this decision as more data comes to us and reveals inflation is well anchored in the target range. I then want to move quickly through the balance of payments, and I'll be very quick in this part because I generally spend a lot of time on it in previous presentations, so here I'll be rather